So you want to know about finishing in NBA 2K24? Today we're going to give you everything you want. It's a deep dive into finishing. There's multiple categories. We are going to get into every version of finishing, whether it is the slashing to the basket players, the post up players, the finesse floater style players, and more. We're going to dive in. So come on in. Let's get to it. This is Coach M. With that said, as you can see here, I'm going to just be displaying some breakdowns and trying to help you prepare for your build when it comes to finishing. And of course, you're not going to have a 99 on everything, but the point of this demonstration is so that you can understand what you need to do. We're going to reset this whole format and hopefully help you as we go forward. First and foremost, there is badge requirements as well as animation requirements for dunks. We do have the badge requirements. I am going to put them on the screen so you can see as we go forward, but I will say the contact dunk requirements are not officially out yet when this video was made, but I will have it in the description and in the comments when that does come out. With that out of the way, as you can see right above, this is my list of finishing. The rumor and something that insiders have said, it's going to be an 89 drive and dunk and a 78 vertical to be able to get contact dunks. So that's a pretty high requirement, but it's really good if you want to play that way. Now, I just want to talk about the first and main way that most people use their guards, which is slashing to the basket. You're going to be doing driving layups, driving dunks, and you want to be able to lock in with the play style. Okay, with that in mind, you got to look at the thresholds for each of the badges. And one example that I want to use is acrobatic for layups. You have bronze, silver, gold, and then Hall of Fame. Now, do you want it on Hall of Fame? Most likely you do if you're going to be slashing a lot. A 90 is a decent rate. It's going to cost you a little bit, but it's attainable if you really want to be efficient down there, and that's a goal. You know, now what I will say is when you're making your build, depending on how you want to play, if you want to still be able to shoot well, don't go high up and don't follow the Hall of Fame requirements for everything. It really depends on what you like, how you like to play. All right. So keep that in mind when you do get out there and try to figure out what style of play you're going to have. All right. So with all that out of the way, let's get into it. I have a list here. We're going to scroll down and give you examples as we go forward. Acrobatic at a 90. That's doable. That's going to put all of my attributes very high, but it's probably going to unlock a lot of different ones. You have slithery here that goes all the way up to a 97 for Hall of Fame. I actually love slithery. If you can get it at 97, you might as well. This is going to unlock probably every dunk package in the game. It's going to do all the contact dunks if you have the vertical to match and so much more. Personally, I don't know if this is a viable option because you're going to lose a lot of attributes. You probably won't have good shooting, defense, and playmaking if you waste all your attributes in one spot. But we're just here to talk about finishing, just to give you the educational aspect. As you can see here, posterizer on Hall of Fame, a 99. That could be a good way to have a fun build. So let's say I put this up to 99. I'm going to be maxing some of this out. That's going to be really important. And then right below that, if you look for precision dunking, it's saying I need a 97. So guess what? I'm going to be all set. I'm going to have everything I need to be able to get to the basket for the most part. But let's dive a little deeper. As you can see here, spin cycle, very important. If you love spinning and doing layups and dunks, this is going to be critical. You want to have it at a high rate, but guess what? It's at an 85. That's easy to get. I think any build could get an 85 for drive and dunk if that's something that you really want to do. Same thing with the Euro step badge called two-step. It's at an 86. So let's just backtrack and lower our setup to an 86 because it's going to give us most of the dunks that we want. And it's unlocking gold precision dunker for me right here. I'm sorry about that. Posterizer, gold posterizer right above, as you can see right here. All right. So those are just some ideas and concepts. And then bunny is for your hop steps into the basket. If you don't do this, you don't want to have utilize it. But if you do, like I said, an 86, really nice right there. So an 86 to a 90 to me is a threshold where you can be efficient with the slashing to the basket finesse moves, as far as Euro steps, hop steps, and all of the good abilities when you get down there. For me personally, that's something that I'll be looking into. I love slashing. It's a fun, skilled thing to do if you're really good at it. A new badge that I'm not going to get too crazy into because it's not just for dunks and layups, but it is a part of the game, and it's going to be interesting this year to see how good it is. I personally am going to try to max this out as much as possible and see how good it could be. It's called Whistle. Guess what? The threshold is at a 99 for Hall of Fame, so that's probably not attainable for everybody. But on one of the finishing categories, or even shooting, for example, you can max it out close to 99 and get it on gold. I personally would definitely try it out on silver. Get a little bit of extra fouls. This badge gives you extra fouls. Okay, so that's something you want to pay attention to and figure out on your own on how you want to go about that. For me, 85 to 86, you can see it's unlocking silver and gold badges a lot. That is worth it for me. All right, and then you got Bulldozer. Bulldozer's a brand new badge. It's pretty much Clamp Breaker to a certain extent, but a lot more extensive because Bulldozer is kind of like Clamp Breaker and Bully kind of put together, where you can push someone off of you with physical contact if they're trying to clamp you up. And for me, Bulldozer is critical, as you can see right here at an 86. Again, I can get it on silver. 86 to me is the sweet spot if you want to be a good finisher. Now, with the requirements for contact dunks, you got to find that on your own. I couldn't tell you exactly where it is. But all of these badges that I'm pointing out so far, including Fearless Finisher right here, are for people driving to the basket for the most part. Okay, all of these are driving to the basket, and they have some pretty low requirements, as you can see for layups that 87 for gold. Okay, so a little bit between the 90s, in between 80s and 90s, you can get a lot of core badges, essential badges for finishing when you're driving to the basket. All right, now that's that. We're not going to get too deep down the rabbit hole. You want to get a combination of specific badges that you know you're going to trigger this year. You don't want to just stack up badges just to have them. You want to make sure you can trigger them, because the attribute combined with the badge together will really make you a better player. All right, with all that said, we're going to go into the finesse. Of course, you can combine all of these different categories together in different ways if you're really trying to make a hardcore pure slasher. But personally, I like having builds that could shoot, play some defense, etc., etc. So let's just say you want to be somewhat of a fully finesse player. Well, you have Scoop here. Scoop is really amazing. It's only at an 84. So that's pretty much every build can possibly get this if they create their build proper. With an 84, that's nothing. That's Hall of Fame Scooper. I think it's worth it. Might be even more worth it this year than dunks. I know dunks are the fun and something I love to do, but you might want to look into that. And then right there, right above it at an 88, Hall of Fame floater. In my opinion, if you're really good with the floaters, this is a tough one to stop, because centers will be in the paint waiting for you, but you could throw up a nice floater, not get blocked, and hit it. And then Giant Slayer, if you're a small guard, again at another 88. And it's an 85 for driving layups. All right. And then Pro Touch, in my opinion, this should be something everybody uses. Layup timing is very, very critical, and it's only at an 80 for driving layups or close shots. Okay. But like I was saying to you guys, some of this stuff is actually usable for the bigs. Like Pro Touch, for example, is usable for bigs. Post up players can do floaters and do a bunch of different things, and that's where we're going to start getting into some of the mixed badges. This one is Aerial Wizards, just for layup, alley-oops, and putbacks. Very easy to get on Hall of Fame when it comes to the requirements for vertical. And then you have a 87 for driving layups. So different requirements depending on the situation. But now we're going to go into the post players, the big men. Down low in the paint style players, you have masher, rise up, post spin technician, big driver, hook specialist, back down punisher, dream shake, drop stepper, and fast twitch. The reason I'm saying I'm all quick, we don't want to make this video too long, but as you can see here, all of the requirements that you will need are going to be below. All right, and some of these have double requirements. For example, vertical and standing dunk for rise up, 90 and a 70. That's easily something you're going to get if you're going to be a hardcore elite slasher and you want the elite contact dunks. So that's something you can put on as well to have standing dunks at a high level. So we got to look at the animation requirements, which we don't have the information just yet, but just an example with what you can do with these builds. So I bunch these up and I make my own Google Docs, as you can see here. The reason for this is I want to be able to study this when I make my build, when the game is out, when I'm making a new build. I'll come back to this and see what I want to do. If I'm doing a center build, I'll have these attributes all together, and then I'll go forward combining them and making sure I reach the requirements for each of them. All right, so even though this video doesn't have any visual gameplay or anything like that, I hope it was very useful, and I hope you take into account that it's up to you to take the time to figure out what type of player you are, and then from there pick out the badges that are going to complement the way you want to play. In the beginning, I showcase slashing to the basket while you're on the move badges like slithery, posterizer, precision dunks, spin cycle, two-step, bunny, and all of these. And then I also went down and showed you guys a little more finesse with the floater game, scoopers, and so on and so on. And then I went all the way down to the bottom where the big men are, where you can change it up. So you're going to take your time, look through it, see what badges are going to activate, and then you can start working on your finishing. Keep that in mind when you make your builds. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, I hope I earned your like, subscribe, and comment. It's going to bless the channel so we can get in that algorithm, move on up, and make some moves here, folks, for y'all to continue. We do have other focused on different things like shooting, playmaking, and defense, so you can go check those videos out and learn a little more about the requirements and what you should be doing and shouldn't be doing. Hope you enjoyed that, y'all. Peace.